I think a lot of people are afraid of failing, and what we know as entrepreneurs is there's really no failure. Everything is learning. If all you did was spend a year traveling around Asia and seeing all the opportunities out there, even if you came back to your home country, you'd be a lot more educated about what's happening in the world. You'd be a lot more in tune with other cultures and how things are done, and you could apply that stuff to your business and to your life to live a better life. The best case scenario is you decide, wow, this is for me. I'm going to move my business offshore, put my tax strategy in place, start working on all the stuff we talk about here. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. People look at what we talk about at Nomad Capitalist and they think it's so overwhelming because they look at the idea of quitting their job or selling their business or just moving the pieces and parts of their business offshore as a big step to take. The idea of saying, don't live in your country anymore, come over here and live, or be nomadic, or set up multiple home bases. That's a lot to ask of people. But I'm going to tell you why I think that's just a psychological barrier. Because what we talk about here at Nomad Capitalist is go where you're treated best. Those are the 5 magic words. And to me, they are nothing more than human nature. If you ever lived in California and you moved to Arizona or to Nevada to save on taxes, and to reduce your paperwork burden, reduce your headaches, you've gone where you're treated best. If you lived in New York and you moved to Florida, you've gone where you're treated best. And so what I look at is I say, people are already making moves in their life to follow those 5 magic words. They're already adjusting things, but only within the framework of what they know. So if you're living in the United States, you know the United States. The idea of going to some other country seems weird. It seems like that psychological barrier, like if you live on one side of the river, you don't really go to the other side of the river. It's like a mental barrier. But here's the reality. If you can move from California to Nevada to save on taxes, you can move from California to Puerto Rico. And if you can move from California to Puerto Rico, you can move from California to Panama or to Colombia, or you can become nomadic. Nomad Capitalist really is all about breaking down the barriers. And so if you're looking to baby step your way into this lifestyle, there's a couple of things I suggest. First of all, you've got to get your mind in the idea of a global mindset. So what I suggest is the easiest thing you can do is opening an offshore bank account. We've got videos here on our channel about how you can go to another country in person, open a bank account in one day. That's my recommended strategy, so you can see what's happening in that country and experience it for yourself. But there are also ways you can open it through correspondence. You can open it through an app. You can open it through one of these accounts that allows remote account opening. But open an offshore bank account. Make sure you're aware of the reporting requirements if you're a US citizen or if you live in another developed country. But that's the first step, because once you do that, now you've taken one step. Now it's like, oh, I'm different than everybody else. I have that foreign bank account. I've done something different. Another thing that I think can be very helpful is taking some time off and giving yourself a certain amount of time to go and explore the world. Set a goal. Maybe your goal is I want to find investments because I'm owning real estate in a place where I'm afraid it's going to go down in value or I'm earning very low yields. Okay, that's your goal. Maybe your goal is I'm going to look for business opportunities. Maybe your goal is I'm going to look for a new place to live, somewhere where I feel good. Set a goal, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Go out and explore. What I did when I first started doing this full time was I said, I'm going to go for a year. Now I knew I was going to do this full time, but I wanted to give myself that out. That if after a year something went wrong or I wasn't totally feeling it for whatever reason I wanted to stop, I could come back, no egg in my face, everything's fine. I think a lot of people are afraid of failing, and what we know as entrepreneurs is there's really no failure. Everything is learning. If all you did was spend a year traveling around Asia and seeing all the opportunities out there, even if you came back to your home country, you'd be a lot more educated about what's happening in the world. You'd be a lot more in tune with other cultures and how things are done, and you could apply that stuff to your business and to your life to live a better life. The best case scenario is you decide, wow, this is for me. I'm going to move my business offshore, put my tax strategy in place, start working on all the stuff we talk about here. Okay? Those are the two most important things, and they represent the two most important mindset shifts that you need to make. Number one is that you need to start thinking globally, and you need to take that first step to convince yourself that you can do it. It's kind of like the 4-minute mile. Nobody thought it could be done until it was done. And you may not think that you can be globally minded until you take that first step. But once you do just one little part, once you take that one little baby step, suddenly the next thing becomes easier. Suddenly you're going to be investing in a real estate development somewhere, or buying some farmland, or buying an apartment, maybe just to spend some time in the summer. Maybe you'll put some gold in a vault somewhere in Singapore or in Switzerland. Once you take the first baby step, once you've broken that barrier, once you've lost your offshore virginity, it's like the next baby steps become easier and easier and easier. The second thing that's really important is giving yourself permission to fail. So many people are afraid that, oh, what if I go somewhere and I don't like it? What if I try this and it doesn't work? The reality is, in over a decade of doing this, I've done stuff that doesn't work. I've learned stuff that just won't get the job done. I've dealt with banks that are problematic. I've done a lot of stuff that I would tell you, hey, don't do this. But you're going to go out and you're going to experience some hiccups. You're going to see what life is like outside of your country. And if you give yourself permission to fail, if you give yourself permission that, hey, if I don't like this, I can come back, no problem, or give yourself permission as an on-ramp to, this could be the rest of my life. Those to me are the two big mindset shifts. It's taking those baby steps that you're not committing to going all in. You're committing to, let me just dip my toe in. Let me start with one little piece. And let me tell myself and tell everyone around me that if I don't ever want to do more, if I try more and it doesn't work, that's okay. Take baby steps if you need to. If you're ready to dive in full speed, that's cool too. That's how I do it, but I understand that's not how everyone else wants to do it. What's most important for me as the Nomad Capitalist is seeing as many people as possible plant their flags. I know that some people are never going to get all the way to the end of the line, and that's okay. Making marginal improvements in your life is okay, and you'll be better off for it. And making those marginal improvements will prime the pump for greater things to come. Whether you make it to the end of the line, or 50% or 30%, whatever it is, whatever you feel most comfortable with, my goal here is to get you thinking globally. That's the most important thing, and I think once you start, you won't stop.
I'm Andrew Henderson, and if you're looking for a way to legally reduce your taxes, build your freedom, and create wealth faster as a global citizen, then you've come to the right place. I want you to do 3 things right now. Number 1, click the button to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to get notifications so you never miss a new video. Number 2, get a copy of our #1 best-selling book, Nomad Capitalist, on Amazon, and learn all of the dozens of benefits of our lifestyle. And number 3, if you're already a 6- or 7-figure entrepreneur and you want to put these strategies in place, go to nomadcapitalist.com and find out how to get some help.